Okay, so can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear Ian?
You have to go round individually.
I'm going round. We'll do that as part of item 1, Colin.
Okay, please do that.
Right, confirming that you can communicate with others at the meeting and receive apologies for absence. Councillor Barnes.
Yes.
Bisco's not here. Brown.
Yes.
Garrick.
Yay.
Reeve.
Indeed.
Councillor Thomas, you're not a member of the committee, but can you hear and speak, please?
I can both hear and see you.
Thank you.
Jolly good.
That's it. That's item 1, Chair.
Okay, so members declare any disclosable pecuniary interests or non-registerable interests, including details thereof, in respect of any items on this agenda.
Councillor Thomas,
Mark it
No.
way.
you've got a pecuniary interest on this agenda item.
Item 7, Ian.
So item 7.
No, it's not item 7. It's item 9.
9.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Fine.
I can't even open the agenda at the minute.
Because you have a unit in Market Way.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
So you will still need to leave the meeting when we get to item 9, please.
Okay.
Just a matter of protocol then. Whilst I obviously will have to leave the meeting, as I'm not a committee member, I still have to declare an interest.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay, thank
I
you.
declare an interest then in item 9.
Because you
Thank you.
could be seen to influence others.
Ah,
Yes, Deborah.
Sorry, can I just clarify, on the town clerk's report, there's also an item about Market Way?
Peter? No?
No?
Oh, okay, hang on. Let me check my...
You want to meet on the amenities committee, Deborah, by any chance?
Oh,
Well,
maybe. Oh, no, audit and accounting. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just my... Have we got that for next time then, have we? No, I've just read it.
No. Everybody else is shaking their head. It's you.
Right, okay. 2-minute meeting.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, so moving on.
You can skip items 3, 4 and 5.
No members of the public then, okie dokie. Rightio. So we reinstate standing orders to confirm the minutes of the meeting on the 20th of January 2020. I cannot vote on this as I wasn't present. So.
Correct.
Move.
I'll move it.
Seconded. All those in favour? Well, be you two, wasn't it? 3, 5.
3 of you. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Moving on then to the town clerk's report, please, Peter.
Right.
You talk us through it.
You've all hopefully got my correct report. Deborah?
Yes.
Just the 2 items on there. The first one, the quarterly inspection by the committee members. Because of lockdown, we haven't done that. So therefore, there is no report from the committee members doing their internal audit. But I suggest we nominate 2 people to carry out the next inspection and to report back in January, please.
Well, I'll be happy with that. Will we be in a position to visit the premises?
We can make arrangements for that, yes. But clearly you won't be able to do it as a surprise. You'll have to let me know. I know you tend to anyway, but you'll have to let me know.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Right, okie dokie. Can I have 2 volunteers, please? Or shall I put? I'll do it.
Sorry, can I just ask who was supposed to be doing it last time? That obviously
Judy and John.
Judith.
Okay.
Stephen volunteering.
Yeah.
So it'll be the chair and vice chair will be doing the next
Okie dokie.
inspection.
Well, that narrows it down to a Tuesday then.
Yeah. And if we go around Christmas time, we might get roast.
And the second item on my report is the Town Council accounts for the year ended the 31st of March 2020. Everything was submitted, and I'm still awaiting to hear from the external auditor. I had hoped that we would have them back by now, but they're not available as yet.
Okie dokie.
That's my report, Chair.
Thank you very much. All happy with that? All noted and
Noted.
jolly good. All right, move on to item 8. Receive an interim internal audit report from the independent internal auditor. See report attached.
Hopefully you've all had the chance to read Steve's recent interim audit report. There's nothing there I think needs bringing to your attention unless anybody's got any issues they want to raise.
Any issues of anybody?
No.
All happy with that?
Can somebody move that it be accepted then, please? Deborah?
Moved by Councillor Reeve, seconded by Councillor Brown. All those in favour?
Stephen?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Aye. Jolly good. Thank you very much. Moving on. Sorry, I'm having to fiddle around with this tablet. I didn't get a chance to print. My printer's packed up, so I couldn't print this
All right.
off.
Okie dokie.
So there will be a slight delay on this. Where are we?
The crews will thank you, Colin.
They certainly will.
You can be like the rest of us and have 3 screens on the go at one time.
Oh, I can only manage to. Sorry, I'm not very good on multitasking that way. Right, item 9, to receive income expenditure for the period ending September 2020.
Right. Before we discuss, Councillor Thomas, could you leave the meeting, please? By that, I mean actually leave the Microsoft Teams, please.
Yeah, I certainly can. Am I permitted to speak to the item or no?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
No,
Fine.
it's not gone yet. Hold on.
Gone now.
Okay, you're okay.
Right, okie dokie. So, on to item 9.
Item 9 is to review the income and expenditure for the quarter ending September 2020. Rather than just give you the figures this particular quarter, because it's the first one of the year, I've just given you a brief synopsis of where we are going through the year. I hope there are no questions that members have got, but I will refer you to item 4.5, which refers to the market way units. Obviously, when we went into lockdown, through discussions between the facilities manager, myself and the town mayor, we sensibly, in our opinion, suspended the rents to the market way units.
Right.
We are now back out of lockdown, and I'm therefore suggesting that we should now consider making some form of charge to the unit holders. I know things aren't easy down there as they are in the rest of the town, and hence why I'm suggesting that perhaps, and it is purely a recommendation, that we charge them 50% of their agreed units for the remainder of this calendar year, and then resume 100% charges from January 2021. But of course, that's totally subject to any national guidelines, any further national lockdowns we get, and that is the suggestion.
Fine, thank you. Right, Councillor Reeve first, followed by Councillor Brown.
Okay, thank you. So I've got 3 things that I've scribbled down about the units. Yeah, I think we took the right call at the beginning, because none of them could trade. We would have looked incredibly unfair if we'd have charged them rent. However, I don't know how many of them accessed the £10,000 government grant which was available, which was there primarily for them to be able to pay their rent. So whether they decided to open or no, or were able to open or no, I kind of feel that as they're able to open, some of them took longer than others, but to my understanding is that they are now all open. So I think we should be absolutely starting to charge. The fact that their takings will clearly be reduced is not, you know, we can't affect that, I don't think. We're doing our utmost by markets and that sort of thing to try and make sure that footfall is in town. So I would fully support the clerk in what he's recommending at 5.1. The floral displays, I would just like to kind of have a discussion at some point, not necessarily now, about what we do moving forwards. I know that COVID in some ways it made sure we didn't have to make a decision about what we did because we'd already got a problem with the contractor. So a lot of people in town have asked me if we're going to be doing it next year. What's the situation going to be? I think it would be a real shame if we didn't actually do something moving forwards.
Can I say that's a discussion for amenities,
Yeah.
but for your information, we're already Alex already looking at getting new contractors on board and actually contacting the old one to see if he's interested again. But it's certainly the intention to do it next year.
Okay. I have a question about what is happening with the money that would have been put aside for things like festivals, which clearly we haven't spent on festivals. Does that mean that that's just sat there? Do we move it forwards? Where does that go? What happens?
That will be a decision you will take when we sit down to discuss the budgets.
And is that later on tonight, or is that
No.
right? You talking about individually in each committee? Okay.
That will be within each, but that will probably be for this committee to decide once we look at what the proposed budgets are for next year and everything else.
Yeah.
Whether we park it and just stick it in the general fund, whether we hold it for next year to reduce next year's council tax or next year's precept. So that's a discussion that we'll have when we sit down to go through the budget.
So precept is on my list because obviously we need to think about that and about what we, you know, what we do moving forwards, because we're going to have a really big discussion about where that goes. I was in a meeting of mayors across Cornwall last week, and the question of the grant that was given to Cornwall Council that wasn't then divvied out to local councils was raised again. Now, I know that Cornwall Council have said that they will only consider giving grants to town and parish councils if they've already spent their reserves.
Yeah.
I think their request, are they asking that you have at least a third in hand?
Something like that, yeah, something like that.
And I know that lots of councils are in different positions. So I think Falmouth, for example, have got less than a third in hand because of what they've had to spend out for things like marshals and this type of thing. But there are other councils who are fortunate because they haven't had to spend out a great amount, and I appreciate that we've got this £15,000 there which we haven't claimed against yet, but my understanding is it's quite specific in what you can actually claim against. So I mean, reading the report, the loss of revenue from things like floral displays and Market Way, we can't claim back against that 15,000.
No.
So, you know, we've got to look quite seriously at how much we lost from that versus how much we could potentially ask Cornwall Council for. And I'm not.
You won't get anything out of Cornwall Council with your level of reserves that we've got.
So, but I just want to, and that's fine. I understand that, but I don't know that everybody else will understand that, and then unless they've looked at it in that detail. Yeah. So we need to make it quite clear that the reason that we haven't approached Cornwall Council to apply for that funding is because the level of reserves that we have actually stop us from being able to do that. And I want that to be made explicit so that people, you know, the general public have to know that it isn't just that we didn't bother to do it, it's the fact that we are prohibited from applying
Yeah.
because the amount of reserves that we've got you know, are too high. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I'll make sure something with it is written within the minutes of this meeting to reflect that.
That's what I wanted really. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
All right, Councillor Brown, then Councillor Barnes.
So nothing too exciting for me. I was just going to say I think we've been more than fair to the traders of Market Way and what we've done, and I'm also more than happy to support that we increase the rent and do it again in January back to regular levels. And as far as that £10,000 they could have claimed goes, if they've failed to do so, that's not the council's responsibility.
Oh yeah,
we can't be subsidising private companies at the ratepayers' expense.
Yep.
Thank you.
Councillor Barnes.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. While we're on the subject of Market Way, I went down for the last market and it had obviously been cancelled. What's planned for December now?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
You'll get an update at full council, no doubt, from the town mayor's announcement, Stephen.
I can tell you now if you'd like me to, Stephen.
It'd be nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
so the only reason that the market was cancelled at the beginning of October was because of the adverse weather. So the insurance didn't cover us actually holding the market because the stalls aren't covered by the wind more than anything else. Beginning of November market is planned to go ahead, and they're planning 4 markets last weekend of November and the first 3 Saturdays of December. So there will be 4 consecutive leading up to Christmas markets.
Right. That's all subject to the weather.
Well, I have now suggested that just regardless of what the weather dictates, they should still hold the stalls within the market hall.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And between you and me, is Santa still coming?
No.
He can't pay his rent.
Virtually, maybe.
Virtually.
Councillor Reeve, you moving the recommendation then?
Absolutely, I'm happy.
And does that kick? Are you recommending that it comes in from the 1st of October or the 1st of November?
Should we say the 1st of November so they actually get some notice? I don't know how fair it is.
I think that would be.
I think that was what I missed out, but I think you're right.
I would also, speaking through the chair on this one, so maybe I'm off message on this, but I would actually suggest that we review it in January, that we don't just implement it again. I mean, a lot can happen in the next couple of months.
But the recommendation is subject to national guidelines, Colin.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine then. I'm happy with that then. Fine, okay.
So, Deborah moving, Matthew seconding.
All those in favour, please.
Thank you. Right, do you want me to give Ian a ring and see if he wants to rejoin the meeting?
I'm sure the only reason he was there was to see what the outcome of the previous item was. But it's up to you.
Well, he normally comes. To be fair, he normally turns up anyway, doesn't he? So
I'll give him a ring a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, don't want
to. Stephen, you've got your guard dog out again.
Yeah.
Are you currently on the Norfolk Broads or something? Where are you?
That's in Brittany.
Oh, okay.
I took this photo when I went over on the Twinning thing last May.
right. Looks like the Thames Valley to me. Looks like the River Thames.
It was really nice.
Boring.
They always wanted you to be doing something, whereas when we're sitting somewhere like that having a picnic, you might as well just, let's just crack open a couple bottles and just relax. But on we had to go.
Well, he's waiting. Okay.
Of course.
Welcome back, Ian.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome back. Right. So we're moving on to item 10, are we not? Can't hear you, Peter. Put your thing on.
Peter, you're muted.
Peter, you're muted. Switched on.
I pressed the wrong button. My apologies.
Right, consider and approve a consolidation.
Councillor Thomas has got
Thomas
his
has
hand
his
up
hand
there.
What, a
Yeah,
test?
thank you, Peter. Thank you, Chair. I just wondered how the news of your decision was going to be communicated to the stall holders or the unit holders in Market Way.
They
And-
will all be
and
they
when?
will all be emailed by the facilities manager tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Benji, shut up.
Okay, can we move on?
Item 10, please, Peter.
Right, the review and consolidation of earmark reserves is something that's actually come out of what Deborah was saying just now, and it sort of prompted me to look at it. And I hope that what I've put down there is all fairly straightforward. Those in what I consider the important earmark reserves I've left alone. Those other, in inverted commas, bits and pieces, I don't like to call them that, but what we've sort of done over the years where we have transferred the money, I'm trying to consolidate it into a better list and hope that
Okay.
members agree with that.
Any comments? Observations? Okay.
Somebody move, somebody second, please. Deborah.
The
Stephen?
seconder?
Stephen, you seconding?
Fine. All those in favour? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, I want to scroll back down again. Up, I should say. Well, where are we?
We are on
Item 11.
11.
To review the effectiveness of our systems of internal audit control. See report attached.
Virtually the same as in previous years. I've got nothing to add to what's in the report, and will ask that, providing members are content, that you move, second, and agree it.
Move.
Seconder, please.
Seconded.
Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. That's carried. Brilliant.
Thank you.
On to item 12. Sorry about this. I've got to go back down again. I need to have 3 screens. That's what it is. Right. To review the Town Council's risk assessment of financial management. See report attached, Peter.
Again, very similar to previous years. There was one amendment I've made, and I'm trying to remember what it was within the risk assessment. And for the life of me now, I can't remember what it was. But essentially, I recommend that this covers all of our. I know what it was. It was the keeping of the proper financial records. I've said the ongoing training of the additional member, that is actually going to be included in the organisational and staffing review anyway.
Thank you.
So I would hope that members consider it, and we'll move the report.
Any questions? Deborah? Councillor Reeve?
Sorry, it's just a question about risk in general, really, and I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but bearing in mind the current situation, have we got built into...
Have we what?
Have we built some kind of risk assessment about the current situation into... Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are COVID-19 risk assessments relating to all aspects.
Okay, but so they're just not in this, or I missed it.
That'll be
They-
general. Really?
It would be more general, Deborah.
Okay.
Fine. So have we got one in here just like to deal with unforeseen emergencies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Should
that's
be.
kind of where I'm going really.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Any other comments? Suggestions? Happy with this?
Very.
Somebody move second, please. Barnes.
Fine. Okie dokie.